All right. Tier list. I'm added to the mix. Let's get right into it, shall we? I'm going to start with the heavy classes. Paragon. B tier. I think it's pretty mid. I think thematically it's pretty cool. I think thematically it's pretty cool. You know, shout wizard. The shout person. Yelling at everybody. I mean, if you ever want to just yell at everybody, I mean, that's Paragon. That's it. That's your class. Yeah. And mind you, this is all before the beta is open, so we're just going off first impressions. Luminary. I think it's gonna have to go to C. I think I like the shroud mechanic. It feels like it's missing that it factor though. That extra seasoning. It needs a little bit of more spice. And I think easy A tier. I think it gives it that A spice. It'll give it that nice little A spot. I generally like shroud mechanic like stuff anyways. We'll see about this one. I'm not confident in the Luminary. Conduit. B tier. Rev has always confused me. I do like the scythe fantasy. And I kind of do like the slightly trait variation, and you can kind of curate the class to be somewhat specific. Me personally, I can't play Rev very well. Granted, I haven't really thrown a whole lot of hours on Rev, if any. I mean, I've done a little bit, but not enough to know what I'm talking about. Honestly, I think Rev could go to A tier. Rev being A tier, I think that would make sense. We're gonna go to all right. So now we're just gonna go to medium classes. Yeah, we're rapid firing this. You know, it's like kind of a get to the point. Antiquary. All right, if I would slap this sucker in D tier, just off of the roleplay aspect of things. The cards don't make sense with the script. I think the whole script thing is, fellas. I think the script is just. I can't take the script seriously. I think it's dorky. I think I just think that the script's dorky. So it lands it in D tier for me, just strictly off of roleplay. Now, if we go into the mechanics of the class, I hate to admit it, A tier. A tier. The mechanics of the class, the trait lines, despite how dorky it all is, I think A tier for sure. Definitely A tier, as far as like just mechanics and all that. I don't know. I keep saying that. I'm distracted. I'm slaying enemies, as you can see here. Moving on to Gale Shot. Gale Shot, A tier. It knows what it wants to do. I think the class fantasy for it is fantastic. I do like the fact that it has you can have up to 4 different weapons. And when I say it, like when I say 4 different weapons, I mean I'm including the underwater combat as well. Because you get 3 weapons. You get 3 weapons on land, so you can weapon swap. You know, you can go mace, and then the longbow, which is what the Gale Shot is. And it's not really 4 weapons. I say 4 weapons. I kind of like that's. I'm doing that in total. It's 4 weapons in total, because apparently the Gale Shot's different underwater, as as they said, and I think Gale Shot thematically in roleplay, I think the Gale Shot's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good at everything. Um, but it's got a very clear design, and I kind of like the fantasy of it. But I also understand that, you know, some Ranger mains are like, woohoo! And then other Ranger mains are like, ugh, another bow? Really? Ugh. And all I'm sitting here and I'm thinking is like, dude, when are the Ellies gonna get their bow? No, not a short bow, okay? Long bow proper. When is that gonna happen? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Rangers hogging all the bows. Come on. Come on. Come on, A-Net. Come on, A-Net. Give the people what they want. I got sidetracked. All right. All right. Analgum. Need I say more about the Analgum? Okay. We obviously know where this is going. Obvious. This is very evidently going in the S tier. Easy S tier. It's got everything. It's got everything going for it. Design, roleplay, the slime, the ooze. This is oozing with goodness. Why, and honestly, I don't have an Engie. And this is one of those classes where I actually think I might use my level 80 booster to make an Engie. Because I'm still sitting on this. Look at this. Right up here. I'm still sitting on this level 80 booster. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think I know what I'm going to do with it. I think I know what I have to do with it. And I think I got to make an engineer class. I think that, I mean, I can't necessarily critique it too much. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think Analgum is a very, very everything. From the theme to the trait design to the class design. I think all of it is fabulous. I will come for you over there, buddy. Don't worry. I haven't forgotten about you. That's not what I meant to do. You. Well, I'm coming for you. Drop them. That's right. See you later. These things are annoying. They're so annoying. Ugh. Anyhow, Analgum. S tier. Easy. Troubadour. The fact that it's gonna rival Chronomancer, I think S tier. I'm not even kidding. I think S tier. I don't think like okay when I don't think like it's like the best of the best, but I think that this is going to rival Chronomancer support builds. I don't think it's going to replace. It shouldn't replace Chronomancer support builds. I think it should add another flavor to the table. And I think that being able to add another elite spec into the mix, I think that's going to be, not only do I think that's healthy for the game, but I also think that it gives people the power of choice. And it just kind of depends what you want to play. It's like, hey, you want to play a support chrono? Great. These are your strengths, and this is some of the things you can do. And then you got people that want to play troubadour. Okay, these are some of your strengths, and these are some of your weaknesses. Like, I think that they're just two different flavors of being able to do the same thing. And I think honestly, troubadour is gonna come. It's gonna come in swinging. They're gonna come in swinging. Ritualist, A tier. I think A tier for Ritualist. I would put it in S tier, but there's one thing that doesn't make sense to me that's kind of holding it back. And if I'm being totally honest, I think honestly it's the fact that the spirits are locked behind a shroud mechanic. Now, normally I'm kind of for shroud. I actually really like the shrouds. I like the shroud mechanic in general. It's that kind of transformation. There's a particular kind of fantasy with that, and I like that. Um, what I don't, what doesn't make sense to me is I don't know why they didn't just do like a Scourge kind of blend with it, because like Scourge, uh, their Sandshades, they're kind of, you've got that. What am I thinking of? What's that bar? It's the Life Force bar. You got that Life Force bar, and so, ooh, will I make it? Will I make it? Oh yeah! Oh no! Uh oh, so close. Anyways, it's got that Life Force bar, and I just I don't know. I don't know if it's like a numbers thing, to be honest. I don't know if it'll be a numbers thing with Ritualist. I think it's just mechanically. I think that locking the spirits behind the shroud mechanic. Now, yeah, you kind of become a little bit more tankier because it's reminiscent to the Reaper Shroud, but I don't know. I don't know about it. I think it would have been better if it was Shroud esque. And what I mean by that is like I'm gonna itch. What I mean by that is like if you hit a button and your F what is it? Your F2, it's F2, 3, and 4. So your F2 through 4 skills were now available by hitting a button. You hit the shroud button, and then that's what starts the spirit thing. So you're not necessarily entering shroud, but it's like you've activated it. And then you can still fire off your weapon skills and use the spirit skills. Obviously, but that wouldn't make any sense because spirit skills are uh tied to your 1 through 5 skills. I'm trying to think how that would make that work. See, not unless you replace the utility skills with all that. But then again, that would be kind of crazy. Okay, so then why not make it like a tool build thing? Kind of like on engineers. Why not make it like a tool build thing where it's like you enter into a state and you're firing off the different spirit skills like you would a 2-bit skill while still having access to all your weapon skills. I think there's a lot of good synergy in that. I think by going into Shroud, it kind of cuts that synergy a lot. I don't know. I think going into Shroud is I think that's what's really bringing it down, in my opinion. Otherwise, if it wasn't Shroud dependent, I'd say S tier, to be honest. But because it's Shroud dependent. I don't know if I like that. And best for last. Need I say more? S tier. I'm dead serious. S tier. Now, no. Okay, honestly, do I think it's better than Analgum? No, I still think Analgum is the best, and I actually think it's better than Troubadour. I'm just being biased because I'm an Ellie main. Um, I play Ellie a lot. I bounce between Ellie and so some people are weird about like, oh, well, you main this, you don't main that. I don't care, guys. I am an unapologetic Ellie main, and we're gonna leave it at that. I think this spec S tier. Now, yes, it has a few issues, and by a few issues, I mean there's initially it looks like it's lacking that punch. It's lacking that wow factor. But you see, I actually think that the familiar spirits are done well. This is what the ritualist honestly should have had. Esque in effect, where it's like, hey, you've got these spirits, and they kind of help you alongside of in combat, kind of thing. The fact that these are like persistent entities that help you win the battle, and you're able to like, it's almost like it feels like Catalyst but better. Catalyst 2.0. What Catalyst should have been. It does have the utility skills for the evoker is not the most impressive. And the GM trait that everyone's all talking about, where you can't switch out of a single attunement and you're only locked into one attunement. I think that is a really cool take on Elementalist. But I do think that if you're going to take a GM trait like that, I think you should have the ability to switch the spirit in combat, because I don't remember whether or not, I think you're locked into that spirit when you enter combat. But if you allowed that flexibility, either, and I don't think, honestly, I don't think weapon swap's going to help it, because it doesn't address the main issue, which is boon application. Because Tempest and Catalyst, for that matter, can do a lot of different boon application because of all the different, abilities and boons that you can give when you go to all four of your attunements. The boon application here on Evoker isn't the greatest. Um, I think the Evoker is going to bring something unique to the table, and it's going to bring something unique to Ellie's. And quite honestly, like, I don't know. You're not required to, use just the evoker trait lines and stuff. Like, you can mix in some of these other things, and you can experiment with so much other stuff, except for this top row here, because that's all catalyst. Um I just want to knock it. And in fact, I even thought about, the summoning weapons here. Um, these could potentially blend very well with the Evoker. No lie. I actually think that if you actually use the summon weapons, now I haven't used these in a hot while, so this is just, kind of an impressions thing. I don't know if these actually give other people boons. I think you can get like aura share with these. Um, I haven't used these in a while. I really should get back onto these, but I think these are gonna play a huge role into how the class is going to play very well to kind of compensate for the lack of boon application that may or may not exist. I don't know if you can always use the signets. You can go because if you go like written in stone trait, the Grandmaster trait for the Earth, you can use the signets that can still give you aura share, which I think can still apply boons. I think that there are just other ways initially, like if you're trying to talk about the traits, like the traits themselves, that's not the whole picture. That's not what the whole Ellie experience would be. It does help because it factors into it, into the utility skills and stuff. But I think that there are different options. And honestly, until we get our hands on it, and play around with it, I'm still gonna leave it at S tier. And that'll be the tier list. That'll be the tier list of that. This is my opinion right here. Just really quick thoughts. Nothing too detailed. Let me know what y'all think. And yeah, I mean, put it down in the comments what you think these should be at. Just kind of as a bonus, if we're gonna do a roleplay tier list, here's what I would do. Here's my roleplay tier list. You ready for this? Here's my roleplay tier list. There you go. Roleplay tier list. That's it, right there. I think Antiquary is goofy. That's such a goofy class. And I'm gonna get clapped by it, I know, but it's so, like, not serious and so goofy. I think roleplay wise, the cards don't make sense. I can't, guys. I can't. I think it's whack. I think it's goofy. And I don't think it's, I can't take it seriously. I have a thief. I don't know if I'm ever going to pick it up on my thief, to be honest. I'm being 100% real. I might just, if I'm bored, I might. This is not the top of my list. It just isn't. There you have it. This is if you skipped all the way to the end, because sometimes people do that, this tier list finalization right here, this is for the RP, okay? Go back a little bit more to see the my first impressions tier list, the actual proper tier list. But this is the roleplay section of it, the bonus. Be sure to say hi to your neighbor, be kind to one another, and remember that Jesus Christ is our only hope for salvation. Till then, catch you on the next one. Peace.